as we are here live on Twitch and YouTube. It is the 13th of November, 2020. We're here to talk about Friday Night Smackdown. For all of you guys watching on Twitch, the new thing that's going to happen is we're going to go live on Twitch early and say, hey, going live. Then, going to cut out for about 60 seconds as we click YouTube to go live as well at the same time. And then bada bing, bada boom, everything's should be good. So with that, we're here live on Twitch, twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited. We're here on YouTube, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited to talk about Friday Night Smackdown. And I want to thank you guys for joining us here. Remember, if you are here on Twitch and we're having an issue, give me 1 second, guys. Nope, we're live. All right, cool. So, if you are here on Twitch, I want to say thank you for helping us out for our fundraiser to help families in need that have been displaced by the Creek Fire. You can hit that donation button down below. You can give Twitch bits. You can subscribe to the channel either with a tiered subscription or a free subscription with your Amazon Prime. And we greatly appreciate everybody that has supported that initiative so far going forward. And it's going to keep going. We're going to help these families that are going to need it, especially going into Christmas. But with that, we are here to talk about some Friday Night Smackdown. Also, guys, let me know if it is running choppy for you on YouTube or Twitch. It looks like it might be a little bit. I've been having internet issues all day. Let me try one quick thing. Let's bump this down. All right, we should be good. As we talk about Friday Night Smackdown. So SmackDown kicked off with the Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Comes out. He's got Paul Heyman with him. And where was I? He's got Paul Heyman with him. Michael Cole and Corey Graves discuss Reigns taking on either WWE Champion Randy Orton or the possible new WWE Champion Drew McIntyre at Survivor Series. Reigns took the mic and asked Heyman, what does he call this place again? Heyman called it the Island of Relevancy. Because anybody that steps in the ring with Roman Reigns, that is with Roman, on Roman's side, next to Roman, is considered now relevant. Reigns said, the analytics are right. Reigns talked about his cousin Jay and how after he's finally joined him with the family, everything's been up for him. He said before, the fans didn't even know which Uso he was. Now, Jay's the main eventer. He says he's taking out guys like he took out Daniel Bryan 2 weeks ago, took out Kevin Owens last week, and it'll just continue to happen. Reigns promised that Uso was going to lead his Survivor Series team to victory, Team SmackDown. Reigns talked about his Survivor Series opponent and Randy Orton. He praised Orton, but said that Orton is the secondary champion. Ooh, that's a heavy shot right there at Randy Orton and the WWE title. As he says this, he says he also respects Randy Orton, and then, well, Drew McIntyre would come out. McIntyre walked down to the ring, said he's heard all that Roman said about Orton, but said, wait, I may end up being your opponent come Survivor Series. He said the last time that these two were in the ring together, it was when McIntyre was eliminating Roman Reigns from the Royal Rumble. What a little shot to the gut right there. Like, hey, remember last time we were in the ring together? Yeah, I kicked you out of the Rumble. And then he looked at Paul Heyman and goes, hey, Paul, remember last time we were together? I took the title from your guy. But Roman, you wouldn't know about any of that and what happened after WrestleMania because you weren't here. You left the company. McIntyre said he took over and he became the guy because Reigns was gone. Reigns said he respects McIntyre, but now he's back and back on top. Reigns said that I don't watch Raw. And Heyman yells behind him, you ain't missing nothing. Or you ain't missing much. Something like that. Reigns said nobody watches Raw because everyone's watching SmackDown. And I go, well, they can watch both if they really wanted to. You know, just saying. They're on different nights. Roman then goes on to say that nobody cares about McIntyre because he's back. McIntyre promised that he will defeat Randy Orton this coming Monday for the WWE Championship. Then, he's going to Survivor Series defeat Roman Reigns. Jey Uso will then run down and get in McIntyre's face, and Roman got pissed. Uso noted that he beat down Daniel Bryan, beat down Kevin Owens, and he ain't afraid to beat down Drew McIntyre. He said, told McIntyre, this isn't Raw, you don't need to be here. And the whole time, Roman's pacing back and forth, just looking at Jey like, what the fuck you doing out here, Uso? Uso then going to challenge Drew McIntyre to a match tonight. McIntyre went to respond, but Uso dropped the mic. Reigns and Uso then left the ring. They didn't get their answer. Great opening segment. I loved this. And now, more than anything, I want Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. Screw Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. I want Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre now. So we come back from a commercial, and Reigns is belittling Jey. He was furious. He said, who told you to come out there? Who called for you? Who told you to challenge Drew McIntyre? Do you make matches? No, I make the matches. I set things up. I'm the one in charge. And Jey Uso goes, okay, I understand. I get it. All right, I'm sorry. I'll go make this right. I'll take care of it. And Reigns just says, you better. Next up, we had an Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn versus Apollo Crews. It was a little bit of a disappointment, to be honest. Zayn was already in the ring when the show came back, or when they cut back to the ring. He was furious that he had to defend his title tonight against Apollo Crews. Not because it's Apollo, because he only got literally 1 hour of notice. He said, when did I get told that I had to defend my title? Oh, at 7 p.m. tonight, an hour ago. He said he's okay, though. He'll get through this because he's going to prove to Bobby Lashley why the Intercontinental Champion is better than the United States Champion. The match starts, and Apollo Crews does have the early advantage. He hit a splash in the corner and press slammed him into the turnbuckle. He fought over a vertical suplex, which Crews... He fought over a vertical suplex, and Crews got it. He followed it up with a standing moonsault and got a near fall off of it. Zayn then at some point ended up at ringside and pulled off the ring skirt. Crews stalked Zayn around ringside, but Zayn pushed him into the side of the ring. Zayn then tied his legs up with the ropes under the ring, and then won by countout. Well, here's the question, though. Using those ropes to tie up his legs, that's not a DQ. I get it, it's not a weapon that he hit him with, but he's still using a foreign object. But then at the same time, you can go, well, they could throw him into the steel steps, and that's not a DQ. They can put him through the announce table, and that's not a DQ. Okay, it's just always been so confusing. What weapon or foreign object is a DQ and what isn't? It really is always so confusing. So in the back, Adam Pearce was speaking with Drew McIntyre. McIntyre said he wanted the match against Uso, but Pearce said, well, do you really want this match? And he was like, Adam, come on, you know me. You know what the answer is going to be. And they both said, yes, at the same time. Pearce said, but here's the thing. You're a SmackDown superstar. He's a Raw superstar. I can't sanction that match. And Drew's like, okay. He goes, but I can give you the match unsanctioned. And my first thought was, what's the difference? Wins and losses don't fucking matter in WWE anyways, so what's the difference? And Drew just goes, all right, let's do it. Kayla Braxton interviewed Rey Mysterio and his family, Angie, Dominic, and Aaliyah. Rey noted, this isn't just about Rollins trying to take his eye out, the paternity test or the text messages. He said Rollins made this about his family and promised to end this tonight. We then get the announcement officially, Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, unsanctioned match later tonight. Sasha Banks would come out, and I don't know what it is, but she felt off again tonight, just like she did last week. They recapped Banks defeating Bayley to retain the title and the Carmella attacking her afterwards. Sasha Banks made her way down to the ring. She talked about all the haters and everyone that doubted her. She noted that everyone thought she could win the title but not defend the title. Banks proved everyone wrong by defeating Bayley last week. Banks then put the entire locker room on notice when Bayley's music would hit. Bayley would walk about halfway down the ramp when all of a sudden, Banks started yelling at Bayley. Carmella jumps in from behind and hits her with a super kick. Carmella posed over a fallen Sasha Banks, and then the segment is just over. And Corey Graves, I think, was the one that said it. And he goes, well, nope, Carmella actually just put Sasha Banks on notice. So in the back, Otis was at a table in catering, eating alone. He had three plates, and he's just scarfing and scarfing and scarfing. And Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode show up, and they're making fun of him. Oh, he's eating 3 plates. He's all alone. He lost money in the bank. He lost his girlfriend. Ziggler claimed that Mandy still texts him as well. And Otis lost his cool and flipped over the table, causing Ziggler and Roode to run off. And then, well, we get next, Otis versus Ziggler. Give me 1 second, guys. I think the poll has finished. Let's check out what you guys thought of tonight's Friday Night Smackdown. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you not like it? What'd you think? 88% of you on Twitch said that it was all right. 13% said you liked it. And nobody didn't like it, so that's positive. This match was kept very short. Like, very short. Ziggler trash-talked Otis as the bell rang. Otis backed Ziggler into the corner and threw him across the ring. Otis set it for a splash, but Roode caused a distraction. Ziggler then hit a zigzag for a near fall. Otis recovered and hit a caterpillar. Set it for the Vader bomb. Roode jumped up on the apron. Again, distraction. Otis scared Roode off and then hit the Vader bomb to pick up the win. Like, what are we doing here? Really quick match. I don't know why it was so short. Other than showed Seth Rollins speaking to Murphy in the back, Michael Cole noted that Murphy, apparently back with Rollins, as Rollins is getting ready for his what did they call it? They didn't call it a hardcore match. They didn't call it fall. No, they called it didn't call it a no DQ match. What the fuck did they call it? Anyways, it was basically a no rules match. So in the back, Otis was furious. And Chad Gable would approach and told Otis that, hey, calm down. You need to figure out a way to get all that anger out. Maybe you need a mentor. And Chad Gable gives him this pamphlet about how he can become alpha and join the Alpha Academy. Otis agreed and is excited to join his real life, like probably best friend, Chad Gable. Like these two, since Saturday, got it no holds barred. Like these two have known each other since well before they were even in WWE, when they were in Colorado training for the Olympics together. So, these two, I mean, Chad Gable, I don't know where exactly he lives now, but when Otis got signed by WWE, literally Otis said, about the house down the road from you. That's how close they are. So, Otis walks off, and Gable's got this, I'm going to make this guy my monster kind of sinister grin, like, I'm going to have this guy do my dirty work kind of deal. Next up, we got the no holds barred match with Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins. And apparently this is going to be it. The final chapter, no more Rey versus Seth or any incarnations of so. And this match was really, really good. Before the match started, they recapped the whole Mysterio family, Murphy Rollins angle, and Murphy was out there in Seth's corner. So Mysterio attacked Rollins' knee early on, trying to go for the surgically repaired knees. But Mysterio was rocked with a kick and pushed into the corner. Rollins hung Mysterio on the top rope to regain control. He tried bringing in a chair, but Mysterio recovered and set up for a 619. Rollins avoided the move, but they ended up fighting on the apron. In a cool spot, Rollins attempted a power slam off the apron, but Mysterio reversed it into a DDT. They fought around ringside for a while before Rollins got Mysterio in the electric chair and walked towards the announce table. Mysterio countered into a sunset flip, which sent Rollins into the barricade. Mysterio at one point attempted a dive under the bottom rope, but Rollins caught him. Rollins then suplexed Mysterio on the announce table to take over control. Rollins then targeted Mysterio's back and hit a backbreaker. Rollins wedged a chair in between the top and second turnbuckle ropes. Mysterio avoided going into the chair and hit a springboard senton. He then hit a bulldog for a close near fall. Rollins fought back and threw Mysterio under the bottom ropes to the floor. Rollins then struck Mysterio with the ring steps. He placed Mysterio on the steps and attempted a curb stomp as Aaliyah and Dominic were just yelling, "Dad, get up, get up, get up." Mysterio avoided the move and Rollins injured his knee. Mysterio dropped Rollins on the steps Mysterio hit a sliding dive under the bottom rope into a splash under Rollins, who was still on the ringside steps. Back from a commercial break, Rollins was now firmly in control as he continued targeting Mysterio's back. Rollins brought in a table and set it up. Rollins went for the 3 amigo suplexes with a third one into the table. Mysterio avoided that third suplex, though. Slid under the table, but Rollins pushed the table into Rey. Mysterio and Rollins continued to fight on the top turnbuckle. Mysterio attempted a Hurricane Rana, but Rollins reversed it into a powerbomb. They actually kind of slipped off the turnbuckle with Rollins holding on to Mysterio. That wasn't the only botch that we had. Rollins then recovered as well as he could and hit the powerbomb off the bottom rope through the table for a near fall. Rollins tried to jam the leg of a chair into Mysterio's eye, but Dominic pulled Rollins out of the ring. Rollins knocked down Dominic and got in Aaliyah's face. Murphy came around to their side of the ring. Murphy jumped into the ring and handed the chair to Rollins. He then went to pick up Mysterio, but instead took out Seth with a running knee. Angie and Aaliyah celebrated at ringside. Rollins chased Murphy and kind of tripped himself up and fell perfectly in line for the 619. Rey starts to go for the 619, and when he slips through the ropes, he just literally loses it and falls straight to the floor, luckily landing on his feet. And then Corey Graves just fixes this perfectly, going, oh, Seth Rollins got eyes in the back of his head. He knew Rey was coming and pulled that rope down so he couldn't hit the 619. Well, not what it was. It was a botch because Rey slid right back in. Seth never moved and just hit the 619. Mysterio paid tribute to Eddie Guerrero on the 15th anniversary of his death, Frog Splash, and, well, picked up the victory, defeating Seth Rollins. Mysterio looked at Murphy, though, right before hitting that Frog Splash. So after the match, the Mysterios are all in the ring. They're celebrating tonight. And Murphy's up on the apron. And Aaliyah goes to walk over to him, and Rey stops her. And he's like, hold on. So he walks over to Murphy and goes, please get in the ring. Please get in the ring. And Murphy's like, okay, slowly gets into the ring. And Rey goes, you want my approval? Here you go, you've got it. They shake hands, and Aaliyah runs over and hugs Murphy. So with that, Murphy then goes over, gets a hug from Angie, shakes hands with Dominic. My first thought was, Dominic and Murphy would make an amazing tag team. Dominic and Buddy Murphy would be great together. So in the back, Natalya approached Adam Pearce. She said she wanted to be added to the Survivor Series team. He said, no, you're going to be in a triple threat qualifier. She said she didn't like that. She's the boat, and she deserves just to be added to the team. And Pearce informed her, no, and your match is next. As Natalya stormed off, Chelsea Green would walk in and smile at Adam Pearce like, hey, I got an idea. So after the break, we come back, and Seth is furious, yelling for Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce comes out of his office. He goes, Pearce, what are you going to do about that? What are we going to do about this? He goes, what, Mysterio? There's nothing. You guys agreed this was it. He goes, I don't care about Rey. I don't even ever want to see Rey anymore. Murphy, my disciple. I want him. Ron says he wants revenge on his former disciple, Buddy Murphy. And it was announced later in the night that this match will be taking place next week, Seth Rollins versus Murphy. So next up, we got a triple threat Survivor Series qualifying match. Liv Morgan, Natalya, and Tamina. And my thought was, oh, hey, Tamina. This chick only shows up when there's stakes on the line. She don't come for just any random-ass match. She's like, nope, I'll come if it's like Survivor Series team, getting into the Rumble, possible title match. She knows what she's doing. Working the system. I ain't going to hurt my body in a random match that doesn't mean nothing. I'm only showing up when the shit means something. Smart on Tamina. But right before the match gets started, the announcer then goes, I have just been informed that this match is now a fatal 4-way match. Making her way to the ring, Chelsea Green. And Michael Cole goes, Corey, tell me what you can about Chelsea Green. He goes, well, it's not really much. I asked people in the back about her today, and they just said they really didn't like her. I'm like, okay. So the match starts, And Morgan took out Green from the match early with a drop kick. And apparently, Chelsea Green may have been injured off that first move. Like, first move, possibly injured. Yikes. Natalya went for a discus clothesline at one point, but Morgan countered with a DDT. Natalya slowed the pace down with a chinlock. Morgan fought out and hit a clothesline for a near fall. Natalya attempted a sharpshooter, but Morgan pushed off. Morgan then hit a facebuster on Natalya for another near fall. Tamina jumped into the ring, but Morgan hit her with the facebuster and pinned her to pick up the victory. So Liv Morgan does join Ruby Riott and Bianca Belair on Team SmackDown. And I was talking to a friend about this earlier, and he was like, who do you think, rounds out that women's team for SmackDown? And I go, it's got to be Liv, because there's got to be something with Liv and Ruby against, where was it? There's got to be something with Liv and Ruby where they eliminate either Nia or Shayna to get them to want to come to SmackDown with the tag titles. So I think that's why Liv and Ruby need to be in this match. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. I've got 3 messages here, and one of them may be about Chelsea Green. Give me 2 seconds. Remember, guys, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that number is 510-906-1341. So, here's the issue. It was first reported by Sean Marsap of Fightful that the word is that Green may have most likely suffered a broken wrist in the match tonight. And, well, he was scheduled to win this match. So that was a change. I feel bad for her. Really do. Going forward, Kayla Braxton interviewed Drew McIntyre in the back. Pointed out that he has a huge match with Randy Orton on Monday, and why would you come here to SmackDown and then agree to a match with Jey Uso just a few days before that match? And he was like, well, feeling good. I know I'm going to beat Jey, and then I'm going to go beat Roman. In the back, SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, approached Big E, again, trying to get some inside info on how they can beat the New Day at Survivor Series. They had a bunch of food shaped in the letter of an L. They mocked the New Day and said that they'll lose. Big E then called the Street Profits New Day Light. New Day, Diet New Day. And just a cheap knockoff. They all laughed, but the Street Profits stopped laughing when Big E walked off. And then we go to our main event. The main event of tonight's show. Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso in an unsanctioned match. Corey Graves noted that this match is unsanctioned, which means SmackDown or Raw officials can't be held responsible for what happens. And I'm like, SmackDown and Raw officials? You mean just Adam Pearce? The match started off with Uso locking on a side headlock. McIntyre hit a shoulder block. McIntyre backed Uso into the corner and beat him down. He followed this up with a suplex and a back elbow. Uso fought back and sent McIntyre to the floor. Uso attempted a suicide dive, but McIntyre cut him off. Uso hit a low blow as McIntyre entered the ring and followed up with a super kick. Back from a break, Uso was firmly in control, but McIntyre fought back. Uso recovered and hit a Samoan drop for a near fall. Uso backed McIntyre into the corner and set up for a splash. McIntyre exploded out of the corner with a clothesline and ran wild. He hit a series of suplexes and threw Uso across the ring. He attempted the Future Shock DDT, but Uso rolled him up for a near fall. McIntyre rocked him with a Glass Cow kick and hit a spine buster for another near fall. At one point, Uso hit McIntyre with a super kick. He then climbed to the top turnbuckle, but McIntyre cut him off before he can do that splash. McIntyre then attempted a superplex. Uso fought out. McIntyre was caught hanging upside down in the turnbuckle, but managed to suplex Uso anyways. A spot we saw him do recently. I can't remember exactly what match it was. May have been Hell in a Cell. May have been, no. I think it was like a triple threat on Raw or something recently. Anyways, McIntyre set up for the Claymore. Uso rolled out of the ring. McIntyre then went after Uso. Suddenly, Roman Reigns' music hit, and he made his way down to ringside. McIntyre was distracted. Uso took advantage and pushed him into the ring post. Uso then stood next to Reigns and promised to beat McIntyre. Reigns stopped Uso. He told him he doesn't care if he wins. He wants Uso to make McIntyre pay. Uso jumped back into the ring and started pummeling a down Drew McIntyre. McIntyre, though, fought back and hit him with a Claymore out of nowhere to pick up the victory. After the match, McIntyre jumped out of the ring. McIntyre and Reigns had a brief stare down before Reigns would walk off. With that was Monday Night Raw. Also, it looks like WWE may themselves have announced the Chelsea Green injury. Let me check on that. WWE has confirmed during a Fatal 4-Way match on Smackdown, Chelsea Green did suffer a broken left wrist. Fuck. So unfortunate. So unfortunate. So with that was Friday Night Smackdown. Remember, guys, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. The number is right there at the bottom of the screen and in the live chat. Let's check these out. Person here states, who do you think is the best at cutting promos? Mine is Eddie Kingston. That's a tough one. Eddie's really good. Paul Heyman's really good. Roman's gotten even better since he's become a heel. And Seth is really good too. I don't know. That's one thing you got to think about. This person says, hey Tim, after the Thunderdome was done, is WWE going to Tropicana Field afterwards? All we know about Tropicana Field is they have inquired about if it's possible. Last I was told is Tropicana Field technically is a last resort if they can't get the other, I think, 3 venues that they want. It's 2 or 3. And then if they can't get those, then they'll go to Tropicana Field. And this person says, any update on why Zelina was released and if they plan to release or keep Aleister Black? No clue. The way Zelina was talking on her Twitch was that she didn't ask for this release. It just came. Because the way she was talking was that she didn't want to leave WWE. And that all of a sudden, this just happened today out of nowhere. So, for everyone that said maybe she asked for her release, the way she's talking doesn't sound like it. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. You can also follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. We'll be live again this coming Monday for Monday Night Raw. So have a great night, guys, and we'll see you then.